Hello. Today we're going to be talking about Plots by John Trefry. John Trefry was born in Texas, United States. As far as I know, he has not publicly stated when he was born. Before he founded the indie publisher Inside the Castle in 2014, he worked as an architect in Atlanta. And while he was an architect, he wrote Platts, his first novel, which would later be published in 2008. He's most well known for his surreal postmodernist fiction, and Platts fits that description very well. Platts, his first novel, features six paragraph chunks spanning across every page, where it differs from each point of view. The title is referring to suburban neighborhoods, which were arranged in these grid-like formations known as plots. And so the whole book, it consists of 11 line paragraphs that alter between narration style and point of view. Trefry forgoes spelling, grammar, and syntax as a means to convey his overall story in this spectral way. The story is made up of the first, second, and third person perspectives. The second and third person perspectives are notably women. The various descriptions seem to point in that direction, but the first person is largely sexless. The book tackles with the format of a novel, because traditionally novels consist of the author's preconceived understanding of this fictional or sometimes non-fictional world and representing that through prose and through the usage of carefully selected words. But here, it's written more like prose poetry. Something I noticed was that there was a lack of adjectives for its descriptions, and instead all the content of the story came from verbs, specifically ways in which systems moved in and out of the storyline. I don't want to use the contrived unspoilable as a means to describe this, but I do think the plot is so hazy, it doesn't really give any credence to it being summarizable. And I don't mean that as a bad thing. I think that works in the novel's favor because Trefry's way in which the story is constructed, it forces the reader to do the work of recreating the setting through the usage of Trefry's words. And how it distinguishes itself from standard novels is that the words are pulled apart from a standard novel and repurposed to constrain the way in which the narrative is constructed. I read this blog by Harry Pitts, and he created this table and outlined the narration differences between each plot. And I found that to be helpful while I was reading this. So I suggest you give that review a read. But my main takeaway from this book was that it successfully attempts to give more weight to each word. It reminds me sort of what James Joyce said about Ulysses. He said that you could take the words from the book and then recreate Dublin with it. And here I think you could take the words from Platts and recreate the human consciousness with it. It threads through the narrator's unconscious mind and displaces it into the physical world more effectively than other attempts I've seen. Right? Instead of just picking words apart, Platt sort of elevates it into a specific type of constrained writing in a way that I've never seen before.